Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here on The Learning Droid. In this episode I'll be working on my photorealistic and less cartoony, less stylized image work. For this one the patterning was done very lightly using a heat transferred pattern, transferred with the Wellerwood Burning Kit patterning tip. Then I moved on to using the Peter Child's wire pyrography machine and using a spear point tip. I chose the spear point tip for this primarily because I would be doing a lot of feathers, a lot of edge work, a lot of scratching, but I also needed the slightly flatter section just behind the point for doing the broader shading. So I started off with the wingtips and I used the edge to create the shade, and then I scratched at a 90-degree angle with the edge to create the feather effect. I did the beak using the point and dug quite deep to give the shine on the beak. It's a robin, by the way. So as you can see, create the shade, then use the edge to scratch. This has been sped up to probably about 10 times speed, and the whole thing's about 5 minutes long on the video, so it probably took me just over an hour. The eye, again, dug quite deep using the tip of the machine, used circular motions to get the shine and get the image of the eye, and then scratching with the edge to create the quite light feathering and fluffy feathering around the eyes. I then used long strokes with the edge to create the head feathers. As you can see, it works out quite nicely. I'm probably going to be offering this one up so that people can add their own wording or little images above and below the robin. I will also probably be colouring it a little bit. As some of you may have noticed, I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. I've been working quite hard on my regular job. I've been working 10 to 12 hour night shifts, doing a bit of overtime, getting more comfortable, more used to doing the longer shifts, working nights, which has left me quite tired. But I'm going to try and get back into it, try and get back into reviews. I know a lot of people asked me to do fire pyrography, to do pencil flame pyrography, so I'll be looking at putting together a design and a pattern and doing a little bit of that. You saw me there with a screwdriver and a coin. That's because my spear point had bent slightly. Depending on the gauge of wire you're using, how hot and how hard the wood is, then sometimes your point will bend or twist, and because they're wire points you just use a pair of pliers or a screwdriver or whatever just to put them back into place. Don't do what I did when I first started out, which is just think, oh, it's bent, and then grab hold of it. That leads to some injuries. Painful fingertips for several days. Using the flat of the spear point, I'm shading in now. Darker shading in areas just to give a little bit of definition, lighter shading in areas again for definition, and just shading over the whole lot of it using the edge. Every now and then I'm twisting up onto the side and scratching slightly to give the feather effect. And as you can see, it's working out quite well. I wouldn't say I'm photorealistic yet. I would say I'm okay. I would say I can do a decent image that looks like what it's meant to look like. Here on the image I was using, the photograph I was using, there was a feather pattern, but it was very, very light. The robin in question had a white patch just under where it tucked its wing, and that led to a very, very light feather design or feather pattern on the bird, which I was trying to replicate here by using long strokes for the main quill and then short dots for the dark and light in between. Now this bird's not going to have any legs, because the photo I was working off, it was actually stuck into a pile of snow, so it was actually sitting on top of the snow without its legs being visible. So as you can see guys, there is the uncoloured robin photorealistic practice. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you again next time.